Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, welcoming you. As you know, this cricket show has really turned from a daily cricket show to a weekly cricket show now. It's basically, I only happen to find time during weekends to do this cricket show, so it's going to be a cricket roundup, as you all know. Really pleased to be with you all here, talking to you. Uh, well, definitely not going to begin this cricket happening show today on any happy note. I'm going to start off this cricket happening show today on a very, very sad note, as the former great leg spinner from Pakistan, his name Abdul Quadir. Abdul Quadir yesterday passed away due to a cardiac arrest at the age of 63 at his Lahore residence in Pakistan. Well, if I mean, many of them probably would not be knowing about Abdul Quadir, but let me tell you, Abdul Quadir was called the magician at one point of time because nobody was able to pick up his deliveries. He had a very peculiar sort of action where he used to go to and forth. If you can go and watch, some people who probably have not even probably seen Abdul Quadir in action or probably heard, would definitely do well to, the youngsters, I would say, could go into those videos and look at this man, and you would definitely understand as to why he was called a magician. What a bowler Abdul Quadir was. He made his debut against England, I reckon, in the year 1982, if my memory, not 82, probably, I'm not really sure about the year, but I can definitely look into it for you. So, as I said, he was a sort of a cult figure in Pakistan cricket, for sure, and especially there was one man who used him. As I said, he made his debut in the year 1970, and Abdul Quadir was such a bowler that especially when he was playing under Imran Khan, the former Pakistan captain, used him to the maximum. There's no doubt about it. And Abdul Qadir's best came under Imran Khan's captaincy. Now, Abdul Quadir, I'm not going to go into any of his stats today, as you know, but definitely I can tell you that he came to the international cricket in 1977, and he was the one who actually revived the art of leg spin bowling. And he was simply superb. If you can look at his videos, as I said, he was very good. There was a phase where he took 82 wickets in 16 test matches. And he was simply, in 4 tests in the year 1987, he took 40 wickets against England, 10 wickets in the final test at the Oval, a few things that one can talk about. And also, he had figures of 6 for 16 when Pakistan and West Indies were playing a test match in the year 87-88, I reckon, where the strong West Indian batting lineup was bowled out for just 53 runs. I remember this test pretty much, and the reason being that this was the test match in which the Pakistan young fast bowler by the name Wasim Akram actually definitely made his debut against New Zealand, as you would remember. But I'm sure I remember Wasim Akram, this bowler was causing waves. He was just playing his first ever test in his hometown, that is in Pakistan, and he really started rattling the West Indian batsmen. And that was the time Abdul Quadir went on to dispose of the West Indian batsman for 53 runs, and that included the prize scalps of the very, very dangerous batsman in the world at that point of time, Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards, Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, Richie Richardson and Larry Gomes. But let me tell you, he never had a good record against India, unfortunately. Because Indians have been very good players of spin, but definitely he played 16 tests against India, but his tally was only 27 wickets. Well, as I said, he did well in Australia, and he was a mentor for Mushtaq Ahmed, the other leg spin bowler, and also Shane Warne actually got some lessons from him as well. He played in the World Cup 1983, 1987, and also, let me tell you, Abdul Quadir was a brave hitter of a cricket ball. And Abdul Quadir would be remembered by one man in the Indian team, and his name, I can tell you, it's Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, who was actually just coming into, he has not even made his debut in international cricket at that time. I remember Sachin Tendulkar smashing Abdul Quadir, probably facing him for the first time and smashing him for probably I think 3 or 4 sixes in a single over, which made this maestro spinner Abdul Quadir himself applauding the strokes of Sachin Tendulkar and telling that this man will one day go to greatness as far as India is concerned. And that was definitely proved, as we all know. Sachin Tendulkar is a living legend today, there's no doubt about it. And Abdul Quadir, as I said, his run-up was something, a sort of a fast bowling run-up. He used to has a peculiar action. If you say it looks a bit funny, but this is what he used to take his hand now into his tongue and then go back and forth. And then he used to generate a lot of bounce with this ball because he had pace in the deliveries and there was some real whirling of the arms. He was someone, he really did a great job for Pakistan. There's no doubt about it. And what a sad sight that Abdul Quadir, has passed away. I'm sure his son by the name Usman Quadir he's already made his debut. He has already played in the Big Bash League. I've watched him. He's a very sort of a versatile bowler, and he's definitely following on his father's footsteps. But definitely my condolences to Abdul Quadir and his family members to actually withstand this very big loss in their family. But let me tell you, Abdul Quadir was a treat to watch whenever he came to bowl. As I said, he has a peculiar run-up, peculiar bowling action, and he was someone who was respected in international cricket circles. But that was it. So Abdul Quadir has breathed his last yesterday at the age of 63. So that is the first. As I said, I have to start this on a sad note. But now we get on to active cricket. So we look at what's been happening in this week as far as international cricket is concerned. First, let's get on to the one-off Test match which is happening between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. Afghanistan are playing their first ever, their first Test match against Bangladesh, rather. So let's have a look at the card there. Now this was match which was played. This is the one-off Test match, as I said, which was played at Chattogram. And let's have a look but before that, what I would like to do, before I come to this, I would like to talk about a man who actually, a man from Sri Lanka, and this man is the only bowler in international cricket who has not only taken a hat-trick, but has gone on to take 4 wickets in 4 consecutive balls. He did it in the 2007 World Cup against South Africa. He did it yesterday against New Zealand. Even though it was a consolation victory for Sri Lanka with New Zealand already having won the T20 tournament. He's the captain of the team. But let's have a listen here to what Malinga did to New Zealand yesterday. So Malinga was, just give you a sort of a synopsis here. This was the final T20 match which was being played, and the crowd, the Sri Lankan public, had their run for their money yesterday. There's no doubt about that. as first and foremost the Sri Lankan batting found the going very, very difficult, and they were kept to 125 for 8 by the Kiwis. The highest scorer being Danishka Gunatilaka, 30 of 25 deliveries, 4 fours. Contributions of 20 odd coming from Dukwala, 24, and Madhushanka, 20, but 125 for 8. Tim Southee, as usual, as he has been bowling in this T20 series, stood out, 4 overs, none for 16. And Mitchell Santner did a wonderful job with the ball after doing a good job with the bat in the previous 2 T20s. 4 overs, 1 made him 12 runs and 3 wickets to Mitchell Santner. 1 to Kugalan, and Todd Astle, the offie, had 3 for 28. Now New Zealand, now this is the one. 125 for 8. New Zealand, the Sri Lankans were defending just 125 runs, and look at what Malinga did. Malinga started, he was hunting for his one, as you know, in the second T20, he could not get his 100 T20 wicket, and he went for plenty of runs. But here comes Malinga, absolutely determined. He has probably made up his mind that this time he is not going to allow the New Zealand to win the match. Let's see what he does. Malinga's 100 T20 wicket did not take much time. When the New Zealand score reached 15 in the third over, you could hear the rattle of the timber, and that was Lasith Malinga. It was not a Yorker. The ball was pitching on the middle stump, and it found the, it snaked in between the pad and pad gap of Colin Munro, and that was it. That's the great sight for a fast bowler. Colin Munro gone, bowled by Malinga for 12. New Zealand 15 for 1 in the third over. Now Tim Seifert was at the crease. Hamish Rutherford walked in to take strike. Now this is all happening here. This was all happening here at the cricket ground in Palakele in Sri Lanka. So let's have a listen here as Lasith Malinga is coming into bowl to Hamish Rutherford. Hamish Rutherford is on strike, and Malinga has come in, and he has, there's a loud appeal, and the umpire's finger has gone up. Now this was a ball which has definitely hit him in plumb. The ball was pitched on the middle stump, and this was the case of the ball actually swinging in, and the crowd has erupted, and it was all over. Hamish Rutherford was on his way back, but let me just tell you, Colin Munro was the 100 T20 wicket for Malinga. Malinga becoming the first ever bowler in T20 history to 100 T20 wickets. What a bowler Malinga is! But what a bowler is simply a sort of just a statement. But look at what damage he did to New Zealand here. As Hamish Rutherford was walking back to the pavilion, and the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, were 15 for 2 as the crowd erupted as the ball swung and hit the pads of Rutherford. Colin Granholm, who has been having a very good time in Sri Lanka, has been playing very well, and he was taking strike. Malinga was on hat-trick, and let's see what happened. Now this is very, very interesting. They were checking for the no ball, but let's see. But let me tell you what exactly happened. The hat-trick delivery, it's a searing Yorker from Lasith Malinga. Absolutely spot on. Colin D. Granholm has been squared up, and the ball has gone, and the off and middle stump is gone. That's the end of Colin Granholm. Golden duck. Hamish Rutherford goes for a golden duck. Colin D. Granholm goes for a golden duck. Clean bowl by Malinga. The score reads 15 for 3 in the third over. Ross Taylor walks in. Lasith Malinga has taken his hat-trick, and now we are seeing Ross Taylor walking in. Ross Taylor, as you know, he didn't play in the second T20, I reckon. Ross Taylor is on strike. Lasith Malinga is the bowler, and now he delivers an unplayable Yorker to the experienced Ross Taylor. There was a sort of a bit of swing in the air on the leg and middle stump. It's all gone. Ross Taylor is trapped absolutely front on the stumps, and can you believe it? Lasith Malinga has taken 4 wickets in 4 balls to leave the Sri Lankan team in absolute tatters at 15 for 4 in the third over. This is New Zealand in absolutely bad shape here at 15 for 4, and that was the 4th wicket for Lasith Malinga in a single over. What a bowler Lasith Malinga is at this age. He is probably at the evening of his career, and this is the damage that he is creating. And then the pressure started building. Tim Seifert got a delivery. Now this was a different delivery. There was a bit of outswing for Lasith Malinga. The ball pitched, moved away. Seifert was tempted into the drive. Gone. He edged the ball. Gunatilaka has snapped him up. He's gone. This is the 5th wicket for Malinga. And now the score after Seifert goes, they are 23 for 5. And this is only the 3rd over. Yeah, it is only we are in the 5th over, and the Sri Lankans the ship was sinking with Lasith Malinga. Look at his bowling figures. Take a bow, Lasith Malinga. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 6 runs and 5 wickets. Probably the best ever figures in T20 history. And this is what the damage that Malinga created, from which the New Zealanders could never recover. Daryl Mitchell was run out for 6. Santner was sent to the pavilion by Dhananjaya for 16. Kuglan was out for naught. Tim Southee hit a few things into the upper territory. He went and hit it into the stands, made 28, but as I said, it was all over. De Silva had Thron Hassel LBW, Rance LBW Sandakan for 8, and the New Zealanders were wiped out for just 88 runs. What a victory! Even though it was just a consolation victory with New Zealand having won the T20 series, it was a Lasith Malinga show. Sri Lanka winning the match by 37 runs. New Zealand winning the series 2-1. And as far as the bowling, I don't want to talk about anything because it was all about Lasith Malinga. Okay, now from here we get on to the match. We get on to the Ashes series. The Ashes series, I will try to have a quick look in. It is a match which is right now the Aussies are definitely probably aiming for the urn here, no doubt about it, the Ashes urn. And I'm going to give you a sort of a synopsis as to what really transpired. So let's have a look and see what really was happening. So Australians were the ones who batted first on this particular track, and I'm just going to run through it due to shortage of time, as I was definitely talking about Lasith Malinga. So let's have a very quick sneak peek here. So the Australians actually batted first, 497 for 8 declared. Stephen Smith, as I said, he is someone who has come up like a wounded tiger after being hit by Archer, missing the 3rd test match. In the 4th test match, look at his score, 211 with 24 fours and 2 sixes, and that is phenomenal record from Stephen Smith. 67 from Labuschagne, 58 from Tim Paine. Stark had 54, 497 for 8 declared, 3 for 97 for Stuart Broad. Now England, in their reply on a perfect batting pitch at Manchester Old Trafford, I think I would be giving the credit to the Aussie bowlers. Josh Hazlewood 4 for 57, Mitchell Starc 3 for 80 and 3 for 60 to Cummins. But definitely Hazlewood and Cummins doing a great job yesterday. Today it was about Mitchell Starc getting into the wickets column with 3 wickets. And you'll figure that if you look at the England card here, if you look at it, Rory Burns is someone who's a very compact player, and he's showing consistency. It is his 3rd 50 here, and what he does best is he really likes to occupy the crease, and he carved 81 runs with 9 boundaries to be the highest scorer. Joe Root made 71 with 10 boundaries, and 41 coming in from Butler. 301 all out, a big lead for the Aussies of 196 runs. In the first innings lead of 196 runs. And have a look at Australian card here. Australia in the second innings declaring at 186 for 6, it was once again it was Smith. Now this was a counter-punching innings from Smith. Smith went on the he was on the move today. He was not willing to really sort of pot around the crease. It was all about hitting the ball, playing his strokes, and he made 82 with 11 boundaries, where probably nothing. And let us talk about David Warner, who has become the bunny rabbit of Stuart Broad in this Ashes series, and Broad has scalped him for the 6th time in this series, and this is a sort of an ominous sign for David Warner. This was a straighter delivery. It was a good length delivery. It went into the pads. Warner was strapped in front of the stumps into the crease, and David Warner was given the first ever pair in his career by Stuart Broad, and this is 3 ducks in a row for David Warner. And then we saw Stephen Smith, as I said, making 82. What a player. I mean, he has scored more than 600 runs in this series. We have one more test match to come, and I have to say I would like to doff my hat to this man, Stephen Smith. He has come and played like a wounded tiger. Matthew Wade 34, 186 for 6, and 3 wickets to Jofra Archer, 2 to Broad, as the Aussies actually, Tim Payne calling his troops over and declaring the innings close on the 4th day of this ICC World Test Championships, the Ashes series, at 186 for 6, thus setting a target of 383 runs, which is definitely not beyond the possibilities of England, but a tantalizing score. But England definitely were hit very, very hard first up itself, as Pat Cummins let the ball rip. He picked up Brodie Burns, who was shaping to actually play the ball into the leg side, and it got a leading edge. Brodie Burns was gone, and after that, Joe Root, the captain, was gobbled up by a beautiful delivery from Cummins, absolute ripper, one could say, as it was a ball which actually nipped away, and it was nothing that Joe Root could do as it went and hit the off stump. Root was gone, golden duck for Joe Root, and finally England at the safety with Joe Denley not out on 10, Jason Roy not out on 8, 18 for 2 at close of play, and as I said, now with 383 runs being the target on the final day. What a day that is going to be tomorrow of the final day of the 4th test match. England require another 365 runs, 8 wickets remaining. One would fancy that Australians would be the one who can retain the urn here, but one thing that I can tell you here, not retain the urn, but definitely they could win this test match, but you never know. It's a tantalizing possibility, but all eyes will be in the Aussies for sure. So that is as far, and just a very, very small sneak peek. We are talking about the Bangladesh versus Afghanistan test match, where the spinners have been ruling the roost. Afghanistan making 342, Rahmat Shah becoming the first ever Afghanistan player in the history of Afghanistan cricket, and becoming the first player ever to score a century for Afghanistan. Rashid Khan took 5 wickets, his maiden 5-wicket haul in test cricket, and I have to say that Afghanistan have definitely got the upper hand here. Afghanistan made 342, Bangladesh were bowled out for 205, and in the second dig, Afghanistan were placed at 237 for 8. That is a lead of 374 runs with 2 wickets remaining, and I think Bangladesh will have a very stiff task coming into this particular match. So we are getting into the 4th day tomorrow. It's a must-result match coming up here, no doubt about it. Dear fans and subscribers, I hope you all loved this weekly cricket roundup here, and I will be back with you cricket folks tomorrow to talk about as to what happened. So dear fans and subscribers, the Ashes is absolutely hot tomorrow on the final day. 363 runs required for England to win the test match. The Aussies have to knock off 8 wickets, and they can have an opportunity to retain the urn. That's it from me, your host Ram, for this cricket show. See you tomorrow, that's on a Sunday, and that's it. Thank you.